I do want to revisit your final broadcast on CBS News. It was very powerful and touching. And
to a nation still nursing a broken heart for what happened here in 2001, and especially to those who found themselves closest to the events of September 11th. To our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines in dangerous places. To those who have endured the tsunami, and to all who have suffered natural disasters and who must now find the will to rebuild. To the oppressed and to those whose lot it is to struggle in financial hardship or in failing health. To my fellow journalists in places where reporting the truth means risking all. And to each of you, courage. For the CBS Evening News, Dan Rather reporting. Good night.
courage. This is something you used earlier and you brought it back there. Your career exemplified that, the way you traveled to these regions, being not just an anchor, a reporter anchor, right? You never wanted to forget how you started, which was covering the hurricane, speaking of hurricanes, Hurricane Carla, right? And then the President Kennedy's assassination, and being on the ground and going to Afghanistan in 1980. I mean, I saw a thing on CBS you did in 1979 talking to the street gangs of Los Angeles. You're out there in the barrio with these gangsters hanging out in their families and stuff. They got guns in their waistband, and you're just at their picnic. I mean, talk about courage. In all the things that you've done and covered in your career, do you think about these things daily, or is it all a blur? I mean, what stands out to you after all this time?
Well, first of all, I want to make it clear that, I can be big-headed about a lot of things, but I've never had any particular amount of courage. I mean, what little I've had is basically, you're afraid, but you go ahead anyway. And it is true that without being overly dramatic about it, you talk about covering the Vietnam War, Afghanistan, Iran, Iraq, those kind of things, that if you want to be a world-class reporter, in some ways, on some days, danger is my business. It has been. And that I have seen real courage. A single mom with 3 kids who's working 2 jobs trying to make the rent has real courage. A single policeman walking a tough alley in the middle of the morning has real courage. Has the kind of courage that very few reporters, and certainly not including this one, have.
Dan Rather for president. Let's get it going.